All right, y'all. So let's jump straight into this thing, shall we? So y'all, welcome to It's Putting Truth of the God Dog it. God, God.
You knew it was coming.
I knew it was coming, bro. I knew it was coming. I should when I had the opportunity, I should have just changed it back to It's Putting Truth.
See,
Because I think
this
I
is why
explained this.
everybody has to listen to you all around.
I'm trying to tell you.
Y'all gotta listen to her all around.
Look, y'all, I'm not about to edit that out. It is what it is. You know, we keep it raw around here.
Y'all know
No,
where we are.
I'm gonna leave it in there because technically that is the actual brand. Like, and it's Pudding's Tea falls under that, so it's all good, y'all. Uh, I felt it because I stopped myself from saying it last time. I'm just so used to it, but it is what it is, y'all. Y'all check out his Pudding's Truth as well. But I do need to put some more work in on that side of the house too. To be honest, I think I'm slacking a little bit. But anyway, yes. Oh no, I might take that. It's not I feel bad because I made myself feel guilty just now. But anyway, moving forward, y'all. Welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back to It's Pudding's Tea. I'm your host, Pudding, of course. And with me, I have my
Mm.
co-host, right? Y'all, come on now. Y'all should know by now. If you don't know by now, let me go ahead and let you know. The supportive, the abundant, the fearless, Mr. Curry. Y'all get up, Mr. Curry. Y'all get up, Mr. Curry.
You already know what's good, everybody. What's good? What's good? What's good? I hope
Like,
everybody's doing great.
look, we feeling good today, y'all. Bringing y'all another current event episode. Like, look, these current events, bro. Because I was just telling Mr. Curry this earlier. Like, I'm not a news person, right? Like, I don't watch the news, but it's like I've come to find myself to be like really enjoying, getting in on like what's going on. Because it's like, don't get me
That's
wrong,
a lot going on.
like don't get me wrong, it is, bro. It's a lot going on. It's a lot. Some of these things you probably already know. Some of these things you probably scroll past and didn't think nothing of. Some of these things you probably didn't hear of at all, and you like maybe I should have heard about that.
Right.
So y'all gotta excuse me, like my throat is mad itchy, bro. I took a ginger mint beforehand to try to help it out. Uh, so y'all excuse me. Of course, I'm gonna try to back off from the microphone, like if it gets like intense or something like that. So I don't be coughing all in y'all ear. This is what I
Do
get for
this
picking
for
on.
y'all.
This is what I get for picking on Mr. Curry the other day. Um, but yeah, so we're gonna get into it. Now look, some of y'all probably gonna have to bring y'all 10 for hats. Some of these, it depends. Um, I like that Mr. Curry is different from me. Cause it's like, bro, I can see you just like, cause you like, what's the video we seen the other day with a girl was, well, it looked well, it looked like she was about to get hit by the bus, which to me she could have
Oh
still.
yeah.
And I was super dramatic, y'all, and ghetto about it, and and bro, I do it sometimes just to see what Mr. Curry gonna say. Some of it I mean though, and it's like you know what I mean, and you know when I'm playing.
Right.
But he had like using all his brain cells and was making like adult sense. Like he really broke it. Like I mean, he made it real simple. Me, on the other hand, not so much. I'm only just like throwing it out there. So I'm actually preparing Mr. Curry right now. I know y'all don't fully understand what I'm talking about because y'all don't know about the video or anything like that. But this is just for him, y'all.
I
So
get.
it may be like that, Mr. Curry. It may be like that today.
I got you. I got you.
All right. So y'all, keep in mind, like I mentioned before, um, that I would share with you guys the videos that correspond with our topics for today. And so yeah, so y'all, but you got to go to TikTok and you got to check that out. So go to our TikTok at podcast underscore. It's Pudding's Tea. Make sure y'all go check that out. And pretty much everything that we talk about today, you can see clips that I will provide for you guys and share with you guys on our TikTok page. Okay, so for today's episode 9. Today is 9, ain't it? I think so. Yeah.
It is
Uh,
not.
so yeah. So I have an update on my boy, Johnathan Majors. Okay, so
Mm.
listen. Now, keep in mind, y'all, I'm an observer like anyone else, right?
Mm-hmm.
I go to different resources and I pick through and I find certain things, and I base my own opinions off of the research, right? I don't know these people. I don't know nobody involved. I can only just state my opinion, just like y'all. Okay. So yeah, that part. Um, but I mean, sometimes depending on what you see on video, sometimes that's made up too. Like who knows? That's what I think. That's why one of my biggest reasons why I don't watch the news like that, because I feel like they've been lying to us a lot too, and I feel like sometimes it's all just a big TV show or a movie,
Right.
and things are made to make us either like it's most of the time it's creative, to build up fear and panic and this that and the third. I feel like that sometimes. Well, a lot of the times.
Persuade.
Um, but that still doesn't take away from the stuff that may be true though. And that you probably, even if it is a distraction, even if it is something that's trying to manipulate you, I think it's better for us to talk about it. And also not just that, but to some extent keep our eye on who's telling the lie, or you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you don't want something to pop off and then you had no idea what was going on. Like because I could see that being me. Like, because today,
Sure.
bro, today I did deeper than I've ever dug before for like 3 hours. And I was like, bro, because when you start tracing stuff back, it's like, what is going on? Like, I really couldn't imagine all of these things could be happening at one time.
Mm.
But yeah, but Johnathan Majors, bro. So let me tell you what happened. So
Okay.
recently, some video came out, not just video, but audio as well. So the video, they have video of him and his ex that he's going to court with, who he allegedly abused.
Mm-hmm.
They have video of them of the night that this took place, right? And it's him running away from her.
Wait. Pause on the play.
It's him. Is this video is him running away from her. Now I don't know about anyone else out there, but I've been in what you would consider technically an abusive relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, not like on no, he just was crazy. He just put it is we was fighting each other because I'm I'm throwing some punches back. But toxic is toxic. Oh, y'all, it's 10-10. Angel number 10-10.
Record that.
Angel number 10-10. Y'all make sure you look that angel number up. That's for you. And that's for you. Okay. So in the video, he's running that. Anybody who's ever heard of anyone in an abusive relationship, or who, especially if you've been in one yourself, I don't know about you, but have you chased after someone that you're terrified of
No.
that has just beaten you?
I can honestly say that. Let's just say I've been in some situations and I've never chased after the person who
Is
I
is
was.
doing the is doing
Right.
the abusing.
Right. The abuser always chases the abusee, never the other way around.
Right. Like, bro, he was running, bro. Like he wasn't like barely could see his legs type of running, but it was one of those. I really need to get away from the situation. She tripping. Like he jumped out of the
Wow.
car, right? The SUV that they were in, and they both were in the back seat. The video starts off that way though. Of course, you can't. Who knows what happened in that car? But
Right.
bro was running. Okay, my man's was running. He jumped out of the SUV and took off. She ran behind this man. She caught him a few times. So she put her hands on him. She caught him a few times, and he just leaped. He just kept running away from her. Right now, going a little further. In the video, now I found the video. It does not have any audio though, where the police came to talk to her,
Mm-hmm.
and he went. Let me tell you how much of, and to me this is like on some gentleman type thing. He went and got something for her to cover up her bottom half for herself, while they were talking to her, and interrogating her, whatever you want to call it. I'm not too sure when that took off. I don't know if she called and said, "Oh, he beat me up" or whatever the case may be, but I just know that they weren't really talking to him. They wanted to talk to her first. And They lifted like they one police officer grabbed one hand, the other police officer grabbed the other hand after Johnathan covered her up, and they started to lift her up so she can sit up because she was laying flat on her back. Bro, you would have thought she was in a car accident or something. She was crying, and the way she was, she was like, bro, she was looking like she barely could move. And I'm like,
So, so were both of these recordings from the same day?
like, okay, so that recording, it was like the first one was at night, and the second recording that had no audio. That's why I said it was hard. It was kind of hard to tell, but it was like at that moment it had done. The sun hadn't came up, so this is what possibly could have been hours later because
Or within within hours of each other?
it could have been. I'm assuming they weren't two different incidents because they didn't say anything about the police being involved more than one time.
Because at this point, it just sounds like they both trying to get their lick back and forth.
Because it gets weird because in the recording, right? It's weird when you record someone to try to trap them when it proves them to be more innocent. So she was recording. She was recording him talking to her. Mind you, he did not raise his voice. He didn't even cuss, bro. He didn't even cuss. This is what I'm gonna tell you what he said. So I'm gonna sum it up. He pretty much was telling her, so you and your drunk ass friends. Mind you, he didn't say it like this. This is how I'm taking it, right?
Hmm.
He pretty much saying to her, you and your drunk ass friends are doing extra things. And he was pretty much telling her, like, because if you see the caption on some of the clips that they have of this, um, they just use keywords that jump out to you. And so you actually
Right.
have to watch it before. So they had he tells her that she needs to be like Coretta Scott King or, such and such, such and such, right? Pretty much what he was explaining to her is that he is a black man out here trying to make a difference and he got all these projects that he's doing. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to paint a better picture
Hmm.
for himself and people like him, right?
Right.
And he was like, that takes a lot of pressure. That it takes a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of pressure.
Right.
It takes a lot of work. Not pressure, but it takes a lot of work. And he
Right.
was trying to tell her, like, you can't just be being reckless out here because I'm the one that's getting frowned upon because you're dating me.
You're a
So
reflection of me. Yes.
so he was pretty much telling her, like, you need to be like Michelle Obama or like Coretta Scott King. In other words, he's saying, I'm a leader and you need to be more like a leader's spouse. Like, you have to
Hmm.
consider anytime you do something, you're associated with me, therefore technically I did it. He said, so if you were just drunk and it was just you and you just went out, had a good time and came back, he said that's fine. I don't have no problem with it. He was good. It starts off with him asking her, like, why would you bring your drunk ass in here disrespecting our home like this? Like, he was really talking to her like you would want a man to talk to you. Like how you would want someone, and she's crying, bro. Mind you, she's crying. She's like, I understand, like she's. I'm like, why are you crying? You're.
Oh
He's
man.
not. He's not doing anything, like, bro. And you could tell he was talking to her at a distance too. Like you can tell he was at a pretty. You know what I'm saying? Like you can tell
Hmm.
he wasn't in her face. Or if you listen to it, bro, you can just hear it in him how sincere he was. Like, mind you, she's sneaking and recording the conversation. So it's not like he know he being recorded either. But my thing is, you could never trust her though, because
I mean,
why
if
would
you're
she
sneaking,
be recording
why
you
are you sneaking and recording if you're crying at the same time? I
like he
mean,
doing
like,
something
now
to
don't
you?
get me wrong. I completely understand how you may want to record a situation if you feel as though,
It could escalate.
right.
But bro, I can't trust you if you recording me, bro. I don't like stuff like that. Like have a conversation with me. Now, like you said, I agree with that though. Like if she's been in other situations where she's not, you know what I'm saying? Because I think she's a model or something like that. So she may have been with some unsavory individuals. So, and when it comes down to celebrities and stuff like that, sometimes money talks. You know what I'm saying? So I do get that. I respect that. If you're just not too sure, because sometimes that's all you have. Because some people ain't gonna believe just your word if something does pop off, right? So
Who
by
has
all
the
means,
ability to cry and record at the same time?
like yeah, she was crying. Like she was
Not
sobbing.
one time in my on all of my life have I ever thought to push the record button on my phone while I was crying.
Like, no, that's just not me. First of all, I don't want to capture no moment like that. That's first of all.
I
But
don't know anybody who has the ability to do so.
like you see it. I don't know nobody like that, but I've seen it on the internet. You know how that is. Where
I
people
think
are crying and they record
I,
themselves just crying
I,
and it just
I
crying.
think
And that's it.
anybody who can pull up their phone to record themselves crying, me and not to discredit anybody, but I feel as though like was it really that serious?
It may
Like
feel that way in a moment, I
it's
guess.
like from the outside looking in, it's like
It's a
you
little
like
weird.
it was so serious, like you were so in tears that you pulled out your phone and started recording
I know. I get
and
what you're
then
saying.
posted it.
I get what you're saying. I don't get it personally.
Again, not to discredit anybody. I mean,
Right.
if you have intentions or reasons, you know, I completely stand behind you defending yourself or your image or anything like that. I just don't understand it.
I don't either. Like and it's like you don't have to worry about being judged or anything like that. Like if you are that type of person, if you have done it or thought about it, can you please comment and let us know like
Definitely.
like how does that like
How does that go?
yeah, like what's going through your mind at that particular moment? Like, cause I am curious. I am curious because like I said, I've seen it. I've seen it a few times. Like, I just don't understand it myself.
I mean, I'm a grown man. I've cried plenty of times myself, but I've never once in my life thought in the midst of that very specific moment
That you want to record.
to I wasn't even thinking about my phone.
True. True.
And I done been in some stuff.
That's
Like
true.
and not one time was I ever thinking about my phone or to open my phone or to go to the record app or to push the record button. You see what I'm saying?
Right. No, no, I see exactly what you're saying. Without any judgment, like we said,
Right,
I don't.
without
But
any
I don't get it.
judgment. But I would love to understand though.
I would like to see someone who has done that and who gets it. I would love to hear your perspective on that.
Right.
Cause I don't get it. Like I'm not too sure like how that goes. 'Cause I just know that I couldn't. Like I don't want to do. Okay, because I don't want to seem like I'm judging or, you know what I'm saying.
We're
So
gonna go to the next
yeah, we're gonna
one.
go to the next. But yeah, that's so y'all check that out. I'm gonna share the clips with y'all uh on that one because of course it's one thing to hear about it. It's another thing to like actually sit there and be able to form your own opinion after you see it or hear it. So yeah,
I'm
I'll
gonna
make sure I share
rewatch
both
those
of y'all.
clips myself.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You wait till you see it. All right. So number two. Now this is where I say my tin foilers. I'm gonna call y'all my tin foilers. Uh let's put on our tinfoil hats here. And like I said, like anytime I'm talking about celebrity, I'm always iffy, bro. Like I was saying about John in the last episode that we did on with him. I was like, it's a pattern. And I feel like that's another thing with the news. It be a pattern. I always notice patterns. With celebrities in general, I'm not too sure, but only because I've been like made aware of certain things, right? Or I would say possibilities. And it's like, the conspiracies and going down those rabbit holes, it takes you in so many different directions. And for me, I don't necessarily endorse certain things. I just don't think that certain things like I no longer think like, oh, that's impossible. Like the things that I thought was impossible, that list has become shorter and shorter every year. Like
Yeah, I'm
anything
with
is
you there.
possible. Anything is possible. So like I I be wondering sometimes when it comes to these celebrities if it really be them or but anyway, I'm gonna get into that with one particular celebrity later on in this list when I say that. So anywho, moving to the next one. Cardi B, right? And
Oh
Offset.
no.
Not oh no. So Cardi B and Offset, like these celebrity relationships have been coming and going And I be
Mm-hmm.
wondering if it's intentional or not. But I did find a video with Cardi B expressing herself, and it seems as though they just been more so faking the funk about having a good relationship as opposed to the breakup being fake. It is similar. Don't get me wrong; these people are good actors too. Um, I never feel like to them. I feel like the camera's always on. Like you never know what's real or what's fake. But she sounded like it was legit though. She sounded hurt as shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm.
And I wouldn't wish that on nobody. And I think that's also another mistake that we make is that sometimes we do forget that they have normal just emotions like everybody else. That they are people
Right.
and everything not our business. Because I think even with just your favorite content creator, like I realize how selfish we can be. Like you ever had someone that created content that you love and they took a personal break and you find yourself being upset with them?
Yes, I am.
Like I know I have followers and I know they probably upset that I took the break that I took, but it was like, bro, people really do go through things personally and that's selfish as hell. Like and I found myself doing the same thing. Like, I love my mods now when I play my games. And when one of my like favorite creators isn't updating their mods or if they're taking a break, then I find myself like I'm like, bro, you trash. Like now, now, like as I've become like the more I create content, the more I realize like that's just not okay. That's not okay. Like people are like, bro, some people have to take breaks. Like you can't be taking things personally. And we do need to take it easy on each other to be honest. But I did want to mention them because I'm not too sure which way this is going and the video is going to have to speak for itself on that one. It's not too much I can elaborate on it. But
Mm-hmm.
what I would also say though, because the only reason I wanted to mention it kind of quick is because I do like Cardi B. I do
Mm-hmm.
like Cardi B. Um, and I just don't know though sometimes, bro. Like I said, you got the whole Ashanti and Nelly, and I love seeing them in love. I love seeing love, period.
Right.
Um, but it does make me wonder, cause I'm like all the things going on in the world, and like I remember I told you, like they just be shoving these celebrities in your face sometimes,
Right.
and it's like they go on the same platforms. And they so called go viral type of situations, they millions of views and people just eating it up, and it's like they don't have no value though. Like the content don't teach you nothing. Like it has no value. So I don't know. I just want to throw that out there because I think for some reason, and I still don't know yet. I just feel it somewhere. I just got a tiny little feeling that when I bring up when we do the next episode as far as current events, uh, I just feel like the update that I provide on them might be a really good update. I don't know why. I could be. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. But yeah. But quickly moving on to the next one. This is another quick mention. I just wanted to mention this just real quick. And that shout out to because I had so many conspiracies about so many celebrities. I decided to take a turn and change this a little bit and actually give a shout out to somebody who I really think is cool and is dope and it's not like in that whole little celebrity system. And that's T Pain. Like I don't think T Pain gets enough credit, bro.
Oh my! Listen, you want to hear me rant?
Look, go ahead, go for it.
T Pain does not get the respect that he deserves. Teddy Payne is he he's a low key genius in here.
He really is, bro.
And when
He
he was first coming out and started playing with the auto tunes and stuff like that, everybody took him as a gimmick.
yes,
They thought it was just a game, like he was going to be a one hit wonder.
they did. They really did. They played my man's, bro.
Oh, they did. Oh, they did. And he talked about it in interviews. He talked about it in within songs that he's even done, and all
And
kinds
award
of stuff like
shows.
that, and award shows. Some of the very people that I personally rock with and hold to a high standard in the music industry did him so wrong. And I
Man,
was just like, yo, I did not like I had to look at these people again, like I didn't expect you to do that to somebody who looks up to you just as I look up to you.
right. So that means what would they do to you? That's what I said. We
Right.
really don't know these people. Like when I say like, I use that term extremely loosely because I don't. That's what. Listen, I don't know none of these people. These people, you might can meet them and they turn out to be monsters. Like they turn out to be the worst person. Like, have you
Mm-hmm.
seen like some of these celebrities? And if people can catch them on camera, like the way they treat staff and the way they treat people, I don't think it just be rumors. I don't think because I'm like everybody ain't just
I don't
lying to
think
you.
rumors either.
Like I don't like it. I don't like, but it's easy for them to paint a picture for us though, because
Right.
they used to it. Like they know to turn it on when they're in public, and we don't know who these people are at the house. Um, but T Pain though, bro, like I be watching him, and
Yeah.
he really seems like a outgoing guy.
He loves his family. He
Yeah.
loves his wife. He talks
Yes.
about them all the time.
I can respect that.
Like he's even featured them in different areas and stuff like that. Like he is so family oriented, and like the whole point of him even doing any of this was to provide for his family. I've
Like
been watching this man for a minute.
he really seems like the type of person that never changed. Like he like anybody who knew him beforehand,
Hmm.
I think that they would say like he didn't change. Like he really seems like an outgoing guy, like real talk.
He
Like
really is.
don't get
And
me
he's that
wrong.
same person when you see him on Twitch and you see him on
Yeah,
and,
like he
and
don't
like all these
like he not T
features.
Pain.
He's the same guy all around.
Like I just be I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's why I say it's some people I have hope for. Cause I don't feel like everybody in the industry is, you know, evil or, you know, going with the agenda to take us down mentally. Cause
Right.
it's a lot of them, bro. I really feel like they have a rapper factory now and they're just shipping them out. And they
I
all
believe it.
come with 2 million followers.
Yep.
like
Each rapper comes with 2 million followers. This kind of fan base.
bro, they shipping them out real fast, bro. I'm like, growing up, we ain't never had musicians coming out like that. Like, you used to
Mm-mm.
watch them have to work their way up. Do anybody remember 106 in Park? You didn't just start
Right.
off number one, bro. You had to put in work. Like,
They
you had to
battled it
come.
out for that number one spot.
Yes, like you really had to do your thing. We had to vote. Like, what's going on now? They don't care what the person is saying. Is one
As long as
person
they have a catchy beat.
look? Is one person? She's not on this list, and for good reason. Um, I may mention her because I ain't gonna lie. I purposely avoided not mentioning her today. Because she
I
upsets
got a couple
me.
of I got a couple of names in mind already, but
She upsets me. I was like, if my child ever, like my little cousin, like I give her such a hard time. I was like, don't you mention her to me. You know she upsets me. That's how I don't get old. That's all like you know she upsets me. Now I see how my grandma used to be feeling. Turn that off. But yeah, I'm
right.
since I purposely left her off the list, I'm gonna save her for another time. I'm gonna put her in my back pocket. She's for another episode. She's probably gonna be on like low vibe music artists that you probably should stay away from. I think we might end up doing an episode on that
Low vibe,
because
stay away from. Okay.
right now I just can't even take myself there. Okay, so next one. Next one. Next celebrity I wanted to bring up real quick was Matthew Perry.
Hmm.
For those of you, and it sounds like Mr. Curry. For those of you who don't remember who Matthew Perry was, because he just recently passed away. Matthew Perry is from Friends. If you've seen Friends, and he hold on one second, y'all. So yeah, so he was from Friends, and what else he? I used to love that movie. Him and Salma Hayek was in together. Oh, Fools Rush In. That's a throwback too. But it was a pretty cute movie. I like that one. So yeah, he used to be on the show Friends, and his cause of death. They just got the autopsy back, right?
Hmm.
Most people had assumed it was drugs. They said that he had an issue with drugs and things like that. I'm not too sure how true that is, because when his autopsy came back, they said they didn't find anything. Like, only thing they found strange was the fact that they said that he had ketamine or ketamine, ketamine, in his system, and they said he also had other medications as far as like they're used for people who are trying to get like over opioid addiction. But they said that those were safe amounts of that medication. So that didn't cause his death, but it probably had a lot to do with the ketamine he had in his system. And they said ketamine or ketamine, however you say it, they said it's mostly used as anesthetic or something like that. And I'm like, bro, they said like it's just normal. I'm like, bro, those are not things that you just get off of a street pharmacist.
Right.
Like your average day to day drug dealer don't got that. Like and it sounds like it involves a syringe as well. Cause this is we talking about medicine they put in your IV. They
Now,
said it
keep in
was
mind, this is something that you don't technically have to teach us, listeners. I mean, if you want to share, then by all means, but you don't have to teach us this one because I agree with Pudding. This sounds like some kind of surveillance type,
like
deep
it
dark stuff.
like it don't sound to me is weird, and it sounds like almost too similar to the whole Michael Jackson thing.
Right.
But without the doctor, of course, because they pretty much he was on something similar. Because this is usually something you get in the hospital.
And that's what the name like. That's what the name sounds like to me. It's like something that you get at the hospital.
Right. So this is not something you just buying off somebody on the street, bro. And it's like, how did they get it? And you can't get but so much now because people gonna start to notice when stuff is missing. So I'm like, huh? And it just and there are some conspiracies behind this. But I left that alone because I'm like, I already I already feel like it got something to do with something because the timing of all of these events I find peculiar. Cause I tell you, ever since I was introduced to the whole chaos theory thing, things just make sense to me. It just makes sense to me. So yeah. So I want to give that a quick mention because they just came out with his autopsy. So I don't know. We'll see if we hear some more back on that. Who I'm not too sure though. I know it did come out of left field though, to be honest.
Okay.
And I think that
Interesting one.
they it's too convenient if you think about it though. Cause is it just me? And it's just like Whitney Houston too. Like every time one of these celebrities, one of these particular things happen, they tell us whether we knew beforehand or not that they had a drug problem, and then it's always when they decided to turn their life around. Cause they said that he was turning his life around. That's why they found the medicine in his body to like get him over the opioid addiction that he had. But I'm like, why was someone who's on opioids who decided to get themselves together just up the ante and go to something, because I think that's extreme. I thought to me that's an extreme leap.
It is.
And then to overdose or whatever the case may be. Because I'm not too clear on that either. Because they mentioned drowning. So I'm like, where'd that come from? So after that, I was like, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it where it's at. I can't no more. Because it gets weird. And out of respect, I don't like to just say everybody's part of it. Because you know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
I want to wait till a little bit more than that comes out for me.
Right.
So yeah. I don't remember what I was saying about Matthew, but that was pretty much it though. as far as like, as far as like information wise, like to me, they haven't given me enough information to be honest.
Right.
And like I said, it's it. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Like it's too. Like I said, I think they really be getting us used to stuff that it's become very easy for them.
Yeah.
Like they I really be thinking that these are rituals that they be doing sometimes, bro. Like I'm starting to. The more they do it, the more that particular conspiracy makes sense
It's a lot to think that it's the same thing every time.
every time. And at first, I was like, well, drugs, this, that, and third. Like to us, it's like okay, it's easy for them to obtain them.
Right.
the lives that they live, like they live like this particular, like, fast life, or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's that their life or their careers have slowed down so much so that they be doing these drugs, things like that. But my thing is, I'm like, how do they be broke and be doing drugs too? Not saying no one said anything about Matthew being broke, by the way. I'm just saying in general. Cause like they'll say that these people fell off. I'm like, these ain't cheap drugs that they be getting.
Right.
Like you not
And they
just
get it a
getting
lot. They get it
yeah.
a lot, a lot.
But my thing is, another thing they said that they didn't see. This is why I say you really have to listen to the fine print. One of the news reporters said that they didn't find any puncture wounds or any needle marks, any track marks, right? So I'm like, how was he taking? I like, dude, this does this medicine, and the only reason why at first I didn't think nothing of it is because I wasn't sure if it came in pill or not, like pill form. So I was like, okay, well maybe they wouldn't find any puncture marks, but I'm like, it don't make sense to me though.
I
And then
mean,
it's
to
like,
me, like I feel like there's a lot of I feel like there's a lot of behind the scenes people, quote unquote, i.e., the morticians and whatnot that have to do the report that will be quiet about certain things
oh, of course,
if the right people threaten them the right way or anything like that. Like the job, and this is no jab at morticians. I understand that your job is already hard as it is. You
right.
deal with dead bodies all the time. So when you come into work and you're dealing with this high profile person and then someone comes out of nowhere and says, "Do you want to be the next person on the table?"
Hmm.
That can be
Or
scary.
or they just automatically have these people in place.
And that's true too.
Or they
I'm,
just have these
I'm,
people that ain't gonna ask no questions. They were hired for that particular reason. Half the time, they probably ain't even real certified morticians. Like, I feel like the cleaning crew, the so-called police officers on the scene, like those people, all those people might be part of it.
yeah, it could just be people that are just like, you know what? I get my check, I come in, I do my job, and I go home.
Cause
It's as
it's
simple as that. Whatever
it's
you want me to
easier.
put on the report, that's what I put on the report. Just give me my check, I do my job, I go home.
Right. I like it's easier because I'm like, if especially nowadays, it's like you rarely see people that be like, I thought that this may be weird or that may be weird. Honestly, it's fear based anyway, half the time.
Right.
Like anyone who wasn't planted, they probably either pay them off, and if that offer doesn't work, they probably get rid of them. It's probably a lot of people that get gone a lot more than we think. And it's like the only people that really notice is the people that's close to them. And half the time, what if you okay, so say it is a police officer
Hmm.
and they wind up getting shot, you know, you pull the person over and it just so happened to go wrong. Like you don't know if that was a really an accident, but when you hear it on the news, it was an accident. And then you
Right.
got people mad at that particular perk, not knowing that maybe that's not him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's true. That's
or
true.
maybe they brainwashed him and had him do it. Cause you have some people. You ever seen those people though? And there are other people like this BS. That's what everybody say when they were like, he was never like that. Like he was a lot of things, but he wasn't like that. And
I've
then
heard that story so many times. And when I say story, I'm not saying that as in like it's a lie every time. But
right,
I've heard it so many times said by so many people like, "Yo, I know this person, and
they would
nah,
never do that.
right,
Like he may have sold drugs or because you know those be the perfect people.
mm-hmm,
As long as he got some, if he got his hair locked, and, and he just so happened to may have been in the system, it'd be like the perfect target for them because they know no one's gonna question that.
right,
And it's like the first thing, like, come on now, if someone really, if say you make it out and you tell someone that I was brainwashed or I was, you know what I'm saying, like you was already in the jail, which make people already look down on you, and they brainwash you, they let you out, right? So called bond or whatever the case may be, and then they have you commit that particular act. Like you just never know. Like we really don't know if they're pretty much being puppet masters. Like we never know if they just sitting there pulling strings or not. To us, when we hear it on the news or when you hear it from somebody else, it's oh you already know such had to work and they was crazy. Da da da. Like he wasn't that crazy though. Not like that.
Right.
Like he would never hurt a police officer. Like you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They love thinking just because someone been arrested before that they hate all police officers. That's not true.
No,
And they
that's
don't
not
mean that
true.
they're not extremely violent either. Like come
No.
on, bro. Like come on, bro. It's easy though. It's very especially when someone is not in that particular race either. It's real easy for them to lie to other people about them.
Right.
So yeah. So, but moving forward. Because we could just go on for days for some of these, like, because that
Yeah.
rabbit hole gets deep.
That one. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because there's too many possibilities. Like, it's way too many possibilities. Like, and that all of that stem just from Matthew Perry.
May you rest
but
in
it,
peace.
but it's possible, and may he rest in peace. Like, but it's possible. So I don't know, and it's like honestly, I kind of forgot about Matthew. Like, I just thought he was just somewhere chilling. I didn't know he had certain things going on, but uh, I don't
You know
know.
me. I'm never really like for the most part. For the most part, I'm never really in their lives like that.
Right. Like I kind of forget, like unless I see you, like I remember like Owen Wilson and Danny
Right.
DeVito. I remember like thinking one day, like, hey, they are pretty funny. Like, wait, I wonder where they at now. Then I watch a movie that they both so happen was in the movie, which I thought that was kind of odd to me. But that kind of happens to me a lot too, though. When I wonder where these actors be at, and then all of a sudden I see them playing or something. Um, I like, did I manifest it? Like, what happened? But yeah. So it's like, other than that, like, I really don't. Like I said, like celebrities don't really excite me either.
Me
Like even
neither.
like
Like
they don't do nothing for me like that. Like
it's
I
not like
don't.
we're like in each other's face or anything. So
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, even if I could be, I'm like, okay. Like, don't get me wrong. If I'm gonna learn something that's beneficial, that excites me. But just
right.
being in your presence does nothing for me. Like, like I could care less. Like, not nothing against
I'm
them. It's just that the same way I wouldn't want to take pictures with my cashier is the same way I wouldn't want to take pictures with
right. Like I
you're a
wouldn't be
person.
like fanboying out or something like that. Like
You're
I
just a
was like
person.
I went to a Juicy J concert one year, and I was super excited because we had a whole meet and greet and everything. I was super excited, but it's like I'm not gonna faint.
Right.
Nothing against anybody who does, but I'm not gonna faint. I'm gonna be
Like I
like, yo, that's cool. What's up, Juicy? You're my favorite rapper.
right.
I hope you hear this one day. Yes, I do. But yeah,
Right.
like I'm just like, yo, you're my favorite rapper, man. Keep doing what you do. Take this picture, walk off. Yeah, I met Juicy J,
Like
and
and
I'm
nothing against people who do that. Like nothing against people who like really enjoy other people because you appreciate their content. There's nothing
right.
wrong with that. Like I'm not like I said, like there's if you didn't catch the drift by now, we don't judge you, bro. We try at least
No,
we try
no,
not to. Like, but I just like it's nothing wrong with that. That's just not me. Like it don't excite me. And maybe it's for the wrong reasons that I don't get excited. Cause I'm like, what how does this change me? Like,
if you
what does
see
this
me in
do for me?
Walmart and you start screaming like a deranged friend, I'm going to run.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't
We
get
can
it.
talk. We can talk
Like,
like normal people, but if you start screaming and running my way, I'm running.
I just don't.
Natural black man instinct.
I don't get the excitement. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I don't. I don't get it. I don't get it. I saw you. I took a picture with you. Yay! Like, don't get me wrong. Because if someone wants to do that with me, no, that's a lie. I appreciate the love, but I probably be real anxious. Like, I'd be real anxious because you still a stranger to me. You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
Like you're still a stranger to me, and I just have a thing with strangers or just people in general. So I don't know, man. Whatever.
I
On
mean,
to the
I've
next
had
one.
it happen. I've had it happen to me before.
Like it's just I don't know. It's weird. It's
Like
weird.
honest to God, I was walking through Walmart with two of my boys from New Jersey, and sure enough, like we went into one side of Walmart, and a group of girls came on the other side, and I don't know how their vision was that good. I need to see their optometrist, but they were on the old. They came in a whole different door, and they just yelled, "Mr. Curry, bruh."
Like, bro.
My boys looked at me. I looked at them. They looking like, "Yo, you doing it like that out here?" I'm like, I didn't even know myself.
Like, bro.
Man, man, let's get this hand real quick and get up out of here. What's going on here?
Oh my goodness. Like, I can't like I don't know. Like I just get anxious. And then I'm not the picture type of taking person either. So I wouldn't want like random pictures. Like I'll take a picture with you, but I need to see the picture and I have to like it before I let you keep it. Like, cause I'm not a picture person. I'm not a picture person, bro. Like it's just something about it. Like I don't know. I don't know, y'all. Anyway, that's a story time for another day. Moving on to the next celebrity, real quick. This is also another quick mention. I'm not gonna go too much into this,
Mm,
uh, because I'm on the fence when it comes to Nicki Minaj, bro. Because it's like sometimes she really seems like to me. Sometimes she seems like this really tough chick that really like had to fight and scrape a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
And that hasn't been recognized enough on one side. On the other side, shit's just weird. Cause like the last two videos I've seen of her, like in interviews, she's been really geeked up and like odd to me. And it's like the type of celebrity she is, cause she's getting in whether we want to believe it or accept it. For some people, because I know anyone who's a fan of her will get it. Anyone who's not a fan is like, girl, you tripping. But I think she really is getting to that point where she can get to semi like legend status as far as a female rapper because she was the only one doing it for a while. Let's just be honest. Like
I just
females wasn't
downloaded,
really
I just downloaded her recent album the other day, and I'm gonna give it a good listen, cause that's what
like
I do.
she puts in work though. Like she always seems very dedicated. This is the thing though. Sometimes I'm not sure. And this is where the tinfoil hat comes on, buddy. So this is the one I was like pretty much talking about earlier too.
Mm-hmm.
Is the way they kind of move these celebrities around. Like with her, I don't know, man. The way she moves sometimes is odd to me because it's like sometimes she's bigger too. Like she seemed like because okay, so recently she was on Kai Senate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she was just weird to me. I just thought like she would seem honestly, it feel like somebody like Ice Spice or one of those chicks would act the way she was acting, kind of. So like, don't get me wrong, she looked like she was having a good time too. But some of it was like out of character, and it wasn't like on some sitting on the because she usually carries that royalty like I sit on the throne type of Barbie, you know, type of vibe with her, right? But I don't know. She was just
Well,
weird.
I
Like
mean,
she was one of these new little
she's
rappers. Like she was acting
she's
weird.
signed for a long time now. That she got, there's multiple people there,
Right, but that's
and
all of
they
them
all
though.
have names.
Oh, that's all of them celebrities. Beyonce the same thing. Sasha Fierce and like they be having these disassociated disorders.
Nah, Beyonce
Like
got
this ain't
one.
cute.
Nicki got 12.
Like bro, it ain't cute, bro. It ain't cute. And if you pretend long enough, you pretend long enough, it become true too. You gotta be careful. Like I sometimes I don't get it. Like she really look okay. Just the other day, what was that award show that they had? And it's like almost as if her, Nicki and Cardi, it's like they almost always have something going on at the same time. If it ain't with each other, it's separate. Like it's just weird to me. Um, but it was like she shouldn't have been as a married woman. Like some people just comment on the video. There's like as a married woman, she probably shouldn't be turned up the way she was with a room full of dudes, which is kind of true. But it's like I'm pretty sure he knows better too, though, and that he knows. I just feel like it's one big facade, though. It's one big
I
put
mean,
on. They just want to get views, but I still feel like she didn't have because she don't usually carry herself like that in the interviews either. But it's like the last two or three she been. It's like she been on a drug or something, bro. I don't know, but it's like she seems smaller too, though. I'm like, bro, you can't go
I will
from
admit she does seem smaller.
bro, you can't go from that one size because you remember just recently, like I said, at that award show, she was so thick to the point where it almost looked uncomfortable.
My anaconda don't want no one.
Like she really looked like too, like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
looked
there is a
like
change.
she looked like okay, like when she first had the baby, I was like clearly that's understandable. I was like,
Right.
but you know, like a lot of people wish that they wouldn't have had like work done, and that's another thing. She needs to stop being mad at people for accusing her of something that she did do. We all know you had work done. We seen pictures of you beforehand. Like, let's
Mm.
just cut it out. Let's just stop this, bro. Like, let's just we know there was work done. So anyway, but she's been like really, really thick though since she had the baby, and it almost looks uncomfortable. But it's like recently she's been like back to almost her normal size, like after her, because she to me it feel like she had 3 or 4 rounds of upgrades. When she was at like stage 2, she was gorgeous, and then 3 was pushing it, and then 4 I was like, okay, that's enough. But it's like it's like she's almost back to stage 3 right about now. And I was like, but you was just really big. Like, come on, bro. Like, I'm not saying you couldn't lose weight or she couldn't have slimmed down. I'm saying she slimmed down too fast. I'm like, bro, which one is it?
I
It made me
mean,
feel
she's
like it's
trying to
multi
find her
either
way back to Anika.
I like either she's because you know there's also conspiracies about that, right? With these celebrity skin suits and stuff.
Heard of them.
I'm starting to think it's true because when you see, have you seen Lil Wayne? He didn't make the list, but bro, him too. Like there's an interview of him. I'm like, that is not Lil Wayne, bro. Kanye West is the same thing. How big is your shoulders gonna get? And I ain't talking about when he be wearing them shoulder pads. Like that's just to offset everything else. Like, bro, 1 minute he's skinny, 1 minute he's not. 1 minute he's taller than he was 2 weeks before that on TMZ. Like, who are these people? Like, bro, y'all ain't about to keep playing in my face. Y'all not about to keep playing in my face like this, bro. These people look different. Nobody, bro, your height. It's one thing for your weight to be fluctuating, but your height, come on, bro.
I
Come
mean,
on,
it's
bro.
like life changes people. Like
No, bro, not in a week.
you nah,
Not in
not
a
in a
week,
week.
bro.
Nah.
Not in a week. Like I be, bro. When I tell you, I be doing this research and I be looking stuff up. Like I be looking at when people see them somewhere type thing. Like I know you didn't look like that 7 days ago. Like it
Mm.
ain't no
Yeah,
way. Nobody
that
changes
made it
that
in for a week.
fast. Another thing is they're always in the public eye, so they know better. They know you're gonna notice, bro. They just wait to see if you're gonna either take it, put up with it, or say so. I was like, y'all ain't gonna keep playing with me like this, bro. These ain't the same people. That's where the tinfoil hat comes in at y'all. There it is. That's the tinfoil point right there. I don't think that these are the same people. I really don't. At first, I wasn't sure. Now I'm like, nope, I don't believe it. Miss Curry, you say what you want. Cause I know you thinking it.
I
He,
mean,
he ain't
so
said it.
so yeah, like some people have came out and said that they do have doubles. Matter of fact, a lot of people have came out and said that they do have doubles because sometimes they, you know, it's more of a tabloid thing. Like, yeah, I want that sub, but like I want the sub, and I see the huge gang of camera people out there, paparazzi. That's the name of the word I was looking for. I see them out there, but I personally like if I know that if I were to try to walk through that, I would go insane. So, double, you ready to go inside of Subway for me real quick? Because you can handle this way better than I can.
Either that or the real person ain't cooperating, or they losing their mind. Cause it doesn't make anybody lose their mind. Like I don't think, like even let's say for example that every conspiracy we've ever heard, let's say it's true. I don't think that it's humanly possible to still be able to keep your shit together, bro. That's a lot. If half of it is true, that's still a lot to deal. I don't care if you signed up for it. People don't know what they signed up for until it's too late. I don't care what you say. Like someone could tell you exactly what they're gonna do, bro. It hit different when you actually got to experience it.
Right.
And then you ever made a mistake, like been on like a water slide or something, you made a mistake, and you see that you made the mistake, and you can try to fix it. It either makes it worse or it doesn't change anything. Like you just, it's like once you're in it, I feel like that's another thing too with them. It's like once you're in it, you feel either the guilt makes you feel like you can't go back, or you really just can't go back. Like you way too invested at this point.
At this moment.
Cause it's a lot of blackmail at play as well. I don't care what nobody say. It's too many tapes on people. Like every time you turn around, that first of all, that's like a rapper starter kit as well. I'm, I'm starting to notice it comes with a sex tape. It comes with a lot of embarrassment and a lot of dumb lyrics. Like for real, for real. That's like the starter pack. It comes with lace front wigs for the girls and tube tops, cause all of them and tattoos. And tattoos. The girls got more tattoos than the boys do at this point.
At this point,
Like,
yeah.
bro, I'm trying to tell you, it's a rapper factory, and they just making them. That's if they not robots. They probably robots. I don't know. Okay, y'all. I'm trying not to go too far with this. On to the next one. Okay, so back to somewhat of reality. So we're gonna step away from the celebrities, and go back to news for the most part. Next one is be careful with gift cards, y'all. So apparently they're getting better with these scams,
Yeah, I've heard this one
and they've
from
been
multiple
cloning these
sources.
gift cards. They've been cutting, like, bro, they've been cutting like the top part off with
Yeah,
the actual
I've.
like code.
Mm-hmm.
They've
So
been
they'll
cutting that
cut the
off.
top part off with the code that you scratch off,
Right.
and so by the time you go to buy the gift card, like you pick it up off the shelf or the rack or whatever, and all you see is what looks like a normal gift card. You buy it, the cashier loads it. You get home, you open it, and you're missing the top half where you would get the code from. Meanwhile, somebody else has already gotten the code.
That
Check
part.
your gift cards.
Check your gift cards, bro. Um. Also, like when you first go to purchase it, make sure you feel that it's a whole entire card.
Mm-hmm.
And that it's not nothing missing. Cause you can't open it back up. Cause they said that they're coming in the store, they're stealing the gift cards, they're going back, they're using Steam or whatever they use to open it without you being able to notice. And they're just taking it, cutting it off and putting it back. They're taking it back in the store type of
Yeah.
thing. And it's like, so it's not like you getting this from someone or anything like they doing this with the stuff in the store. So it's like you be done pay for it. So it's like the only way you can really get your money back, please y'all, please remember, hang on to your receipt. Like I ain't gonna lie, I've been doing that for years though. Anytime I get you a gift card, I give you the receipt. So you know I ain't playing with you. It has all the information on there. So if your stuff ain't on the card or if something don't work out, then you can call them from and all the information you need will be on the receipt. Like I give them the whole entire thing in the side of a little birthday card or whatever type of card I get them. So
Well,
keep your receipts, people. Keep your receipts.
definitely.
And they said, what else was it that the police officer said? Because they did a whole video with you, but y'all will see it. Yeah. So just check out the TikTok, and I'll have the whole video clip up there for y'all. But yeah, pretty much just yeah. Because other than that, I think Mr. Curry provided all the rest of these information pieces here. So on to the next one. Okay, y'all. So uh, there was another shooting, and I had just said that like it's so many shootings, bro.
Why am I not surprised?
It was another shooting, this time at the University of Nevada, UNLV. So let me tell y'all about this. So there was a guy. His name is Anthony Polito, I believe. Polito. So Anthony had actually applied to the school, right, to get a job. Um, and they denied him, right. Now, I don't think that the shooting had anything to do with that. Mind you, Anthony was a 67-year-old guy. So he's an older gentleman. And he pretty much showed up to the school and started shooting. Uh he ended up he ended up killing three staff, and one other staff member they said is injured and is currently in the hospital. Um but he had four victims total, right? But Come to find out that Anthony actually had a whole entire list of people. And the
So
people that
he was
he
looking for people.
right, but the people that he shot were not even on his list. They were just on the way to him going to where he was going to. And if they said the police wouldn't have stopped him, then of course he would have made his way to those particular people. So um apparently he had always been like an educator or whatever in that particular field. They said he mailed out 22 letters to other targets. And in those letters, they said that it contained, because they traced them back and found them, they contained white substances in them.
Perfect.
So they had to trace all of that back and contact all of those people and talk to those people. And they identified all the victims except for one. They wouldn't release his or her identity because they said that their next of kin hasn't been notified yet. So we're not too sure who one of those people are. But everybody else that was on his list that I guess weren't at that particular university is the ones he mailed stuff out to. That's 22 people. He went on a rampage, bro. Like that's a whole rampage. Like you got
Yeah,
other
he had a
victims.
personal vendetta.
Yeah, you got other people you tried to poison, and these people you decide to just go because I think they said all the way to he sent stuff all the way to Eastern Carolina, bro. That's in North Carolina. So
Oh,
you in Nevada killing people. And you mailing stuff. They say he mailed stuff cross country. Like he was mailing stuff everywhere. Like he had a list of people. I'm like, bro, that listen, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Every time there's a shooting, the stuff never makes sense. The victims like reasonings never make sense to me. Why? Like what made you create this list of people? What did what happened?
at
Because
this point, I'm just
you
like,
particular, you being very particular.
right.
It don't make sense though. So all across the country, you got a list of people. Like, what does the staff have to do with you not getting hired? Because I see they try to slip that in there, but but like that still don't make sense for why you want to kill over 40 people. But they said he wasn't trying to get any students. Like no students were involved as far as victims either. But he wasn't. It had this was the first shooting I've heard where students weren't like actually technically the target, and it was just the faculty. It was only staff that he was targeting.
Hmm.
That's odd. Like it don't that
There's
don't make sense to
never,
me.
there's never a valid reason. Like, there's never a reason that I'm going to personally see as valid.
That's true too. But it's like they tried to expose. Well, he's deceased now, of course. The police shot and killed him. He pretty much he died in the standoff. I it like it just it don't make any sense. Like don't get me wrong. It's just like you just piggybacking off of what you said. Like I don't think any of it would make sense. But it's like you would think that something would add up though. You know what I mean? And I think it's more than just you didn't get hired. Like for you to sit and take time, and you know how much time it take to find people's addresses and stuff like that. Like how did you even find these addresses to mail these things to these people? Like you took a lot of time out your day and you created a list. So it's like what about those people stood out to you to even make your list?
Right.
That's odd to me. That's why I say sometimes I think they be lying because it that don't make sense to me. Unless they just withholding information that maybe they can't release, but I'd rather they say that. Because why across country would you be doing these particular type of things?
Hmm.
Like it's very very odd to me, to be honest. Like it went from there was a student, maybe they getting bullied or whatever the case may be, or maybe they just dissatisfied with their particular school life or home life, right? And it started off there, and it kind of has been teeter tottering. It's either a veteran. Cause like what was that? The shooting they had like a month ago. They said that he was prior military. They like to throw that out there too.
Right.
And I'm just saying, like it's a pattern. It's another pattern. It just seems weird to me. And like I said, it's also with the timing as well. It's also odd to me. But moving on, moving on. That one right there is odd to me. It's like now he's gone now, so they said that pretty much they working on letting it go. I like it just happened, but it says it's nothing for anyone else to fear now. Because they have some students that said that they don't want to go back to the school, but they said that they're fine now and they should be okay. I'm like, no, that's a traumatic experience. That's a very traumatic experience for someone who was having what they would consider a normal, day or life in general.
Right.
And then some man just shows up and starts shooting. Like, yeah, that's traumatic. Like they talking about, but he's dead now, so he's gone now, so they don't have anything, to worry about. They thought that before he came though. So yeah, that's a lot. Number 8. Now, remember I said before that when you see all this other stuff happening, go to like page 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go down a few pages. So I went down a few pages, and guess what I find? I
What's that?
find that Prince Harry just won his case that he had against the Daily Mirror, which is publisher, right?
Mm-hmm.
Come to find out, that man had a case against these people because they was hacking into his phone, and they hacked his phone starting in 2003, and they stopped hacking his phone in 2011.
8 years.
Yes, honey. 8 years they hacked that man phone. He won a little over $180,000. So clearly it wasn't about money.
Right.
Clearly it was not about the money.
So yeah, it's not about the money. It's about teaching somebody a lesson.
Like, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, that is peculiar. And the people that's involved are still saying that they innocent and didn't do it. Clearly that's not the case. If he won, that means that he had more than enough evidence. Cause that's
Right.
clear. That to me, that's clear to the point. Either you hacked his phone or you didn't. If he won, that means that they found out that you did. They have proof and they have evidence that you hacked that man's phone for 8 years. He said it created so much paranoia. It ended his relationship at that time because he wasn't talking to his current wife. He wasn't talking to her yet. He was talking to someone else, and he said it inadvertently like made them break up.
Mm.
He's like he had trouble just trusting people in general, like just period. And I was like, I bet you did, because it's like all this stuff keeps leaking, and you trying to figure out what's going on. And they was tapping that man's phone, well, not tapping, but hacking his phone. That's worse than tapping. And they got away with it for 8 years. I was like, if they can just hack his phone, who else phone they hacking? And this is people with a magazine, bro, or newspaper, whatever it is they publish, whatever it is they put out there. But it's called a Daily Mirror. I'm like, that's odd to me. Like he's a
They got to
prince.
report on how they're gonna get their credibility
Like, but he's a prince though.
back.
Like the balls on you to hack the prince's phone. Like I would be so like, bro, you brave.
Yeah.
That's very brave. And it's like, who else? But why just him though? He ain't nowhere near the crown. Like seriously though, like he's nowhere near the crown. So it's like, why him out of the whole family? Why him though? I don't know. I think I'm gonna leave that one alone. Okay, so next, I don't know about that one, but he won, y'all. Which to me, I think is just I don't know. I think it's a whole lot more involved with that. I may bring an update back on that one. I may have to bring that one back around because that one kind of I don't know. And they've been fighting them for a while too. So anywho, the next one I watched this video about 1,500 times. In Arlington, Virginia, the police surrounds a house and it explodes. Right?
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
Mind you, they said the police had a search warrant. Um, and I don't know about y'all, like if y'all like me, like I be watching crime stuff sometimes, and I be watching like these standoffs or just watching body cam. I love watching body cam footage for some reason, y'all. I don't know why.
Right.
Um, but anytime the police have a search warrant, they usually just like they try their best to get in a nice way at first, if they even try that. But then they kick the door in, right? Like they don't use too many pleasantries. Like they don't take too long. With this particular situation, though, something in the air must didn't smell right because they were surrounding the house, but they were at like a safe distance. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, they had a search warrant, so why they just didn't try to like go in there? They still haven't
Because they
stated
don't know
who.
if there's an active shooter.
But see, that's the thing though. Like usually they go up to the door and everything, but it's like they knew it was dangerous from the get go. So I don't know what this person was already known for. Cause usually when you watch them go and they have a search warrant, they usually be pretty confident and they usually just run up in there, like with SWAT or whatever the case may be. But they didn't do that this time, and it's a good thing they didn't because. And this is another thing: whoever blew up their house, whoever blew up that house, knew what they was doing because there was not a bit of ember or flame that touched the house next to it. Like
Straight up.
nothing. Like who? It was the perfect explosion. You don't find that peculiar, Mr. Curry? Mr. Curry don't read into nothing sometimes, y'all. He just making me think like I just paranoid. Like
No, no, like I don't I don't personally know how to blow up a house to where the house next door, because I saw the video. I saw the
bro, it was
video
perfect.
too, and that like the explosion went straight up,
It was
like a
perfect.
mini nuke. Like
Like
y'all know how
yeah,
like the little nuke clouds look. It just boom, it goes straight up.
bro. Like they knew they did it, and to me, I don't think they had any casualties either. I think just whatever evidence was in that house was gone. Like they they didn't hurt nobody. So technically, to me, I feel like they couldn't get no attempted charges, like as far as murder or anything like that. Because I don't think, not that I know of. And mind you, I've been following this story for what, like 10 days now, something like that. Probably longer than that. Because bro, I've been watching this video and wondering, like, cause you know me, like I really do like waiting for an update to come out, and I just like to report the whole thing. And nothing else new has came out, and it was the perfect explosion. Y'all got to go see that clip, bro. Y'all really got to get on our TikTok and go see that clip. Like I watched it 100 times, bro. I watched it 100 times. I'm like, the house next to it was so close. Didn't
Yeah,
it? It,
they're
it
not
didn't affect it.
far away from each other.
Yeah, they're not far at all. I would say a few feet, no more than about what? I wouldn't say no more than 10 feet apart, because the houses are pretty close together. They're
Right.
just like kind of like big, tall, or whatever. Decent looking houses though. But yeah, y'all, that was in Virginia, Arlington, and they love. I don't know, for some reason they keep putting emphasis on the police had a search warrant. I guess they was trying to really say that it must have been something in that house. So I don't know, because for the longest time though, they sat outside, was trying to talk them out, and I heard the police say something or other along the lines of, "We can't hear you." So whoever was in the house was talking to them. So I'm like, they didn't report that the owner of the house or anyone in the house had died either. So I'm like, how was he talking to y'all from anywhere in that house, and then it exploded, and then there's no cash? I don't know. I've been waiting, y'all. I've been waiting on the details for that one. So I'm gonna have to dig a little deeper, maybe, because on the forefront, like in red, yeah, they're not offering much details on that. I still think it's quite entertaining. So yeah, most definitely, I'm gonna mention that one and try to find some more information on that one. Okay, y'all. So the last one. This one is it has this one. I so just ill. Okay, so this is ugh. So former police officer Tyler Humphreys. He's 21 years old, right? He used to be a high school resource officer. Keep in mind, this man has multiple cases of children reporting him for rape.
But that's just
There should
disgusting.
there should never be multiple cases of children come to you and telling you anything about someone doing something to them sexually. It should not be multiple cases. I feel like the system, the people, whoever like failed these kids because they just now like dealing with him because they said that he beforehand, right before he became a police officer, and I'm like, how did he become a police officer? There was a 9-year-old boy who reported him. There was a 15-year-old girl who reported him. He has multiple reports of him giving them like alcohol and stuff like that, and giving them like I'm assuming because you know they word it because they're not sure. The way
Right.
they worded it, he gave them certain things to make sure that they would like pass out. If him getting them drunk wasn't enough, but he'll wait till they pass out, and then he was raping these children. Um, and he became a police officer, and they said it was in within a month or so when he became a police officer is when he had started. I think that's when he started off with like 3 more cases right there. This is not counting the children that he messed with prior to that. So they're just going off of the 3 cases that he just got as a police officer. While he was, because he's no longer a police officer, but while he was, and this was in Sharon Hill, Pennsylvania.
Mm.
I'm like, and he's only 21 years old, and uh, they said his allegations date back to when he was about 12 years old. Because the girl at the time was 11 and he was 12, and he also sexually abused her as well. So he been doing it for a while, for quite some time.
Heart goes out to all the people, all the families involved.
I'm assuming that something was taking place with him as well because he was 12 and doing this and raping people at 12 years old. So something was wrong. And they should have nipped it in the bud then and saved all the rest of these children. And he doesn't discriminate. He does this to young females and young males. Tyler Humphreys, and he's only 21 years old. Like, bro, you just threw
Mm.
so much of your life away. So much of your life away. And became a police officer. Ain't that something? The audacity of you. So, like, were you planning on using your position to make it easier for yourself? Because technically, that's how I see it.
That's what it sounds like to me.
That's crazy. I like, why would y'all? And as he was a police officer, why did y'all let him get to a third case? Why y'all didn't start on the first one? He should have been investigated immediately, if you ask me. But hey, that's just my personal opinion. I don't know. I'm not too sure what it was holding him back. I just know he's not. He's no longer a police officer. So they're working on that now, currently. And that is it, you guys, for today's current events.
You see why I don't watch the news?
Like you ain't gotta, cause I try my best to get the most important stuff. Staying away from the war stuff though.
Right.
Uh, cause that's just one whole subject on its own. And it gets so tricky. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to reporting that type of thing.
And we love all y'all, so we cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like it gets kind of tricky, and I was like, I don't want to offend anyone, you know?
Right.
And we're also on the outside looking in too.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you get a better perspective in that particular form of fashion. I'm not gonna lie. The clips that I've seen don't make sense to me. It looks that's never mind. I'm not gonna say it. I'm just gonna stay away from that. You know me. I question everything, bro. I just know certain things look suspicious. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right.
And so I'm just gonna leave that alone. But yeah, but thank you guys for tuning in. Uh don't forget to tune in every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, okay? Uh and yeah, and follow us on TikTok at podcast underscore it's pudding's tea.
You
And
know it.
yeah, and love and light. What I'm talking about. We appreciate you guys. And Mr. Curry, do you have just say no if you don't have anything. Just say no.
Just say
Just
no.
I'm about look.
All I can say
If
is
you
be kind
don't,
to one another.
yeah, okay, that's lovely. Cause Mr. Curry I'm trying to tell y'all, sometimes, bro, I don't know where his brain be at. Like, Sometimes I really don't know. Like it'd be funny, and I'd be holding back my laugh. And sometimes I just don't know, y'all. But that's why you got to love this guy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Gotta love people that's different, amongst other things. You feel me? So
Thank you.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all follow us. Y'all make sure y'all tune in. And yeah, that was it for today. And on to the next one, or until the next episode, whatever. Bye.
See y'all later.